My name is Olga Grushin. I'm a Russian-American novelist, and I'm going to read from my fourth novel called The Charmed Wife. Now, this novel is unusual for me. It's a mix of fantasy and reality that explores many different fairy tales, with Cinderella being the central one. And it has both talking mice and absent-minded magicians on the one hand, and on the other, divorce lawyers, therapists, and custody battles. So it was difficult for me to pick a segment that would give you the flavor of the book, because the book is not uniform in nature. It ends in a very different place from where it starts. But I finally settled on this segment in which Cinderella is now a cleaning lady, working for rich housewives in a place much like Connecticut, at a time much like the 1950s. So, they long to talk to me. They act all frosty at first, for the instructional articles they favor in the Good Housekeeping magazine have advised them to keep their distance from their help. Yet after a while, weeks in some cases, mere days in others, they feel reassured by the fact that I have not made any requests for monetary advances, nor have their precious candlesticks or silver spoons gone missing. So they begin to linger in doorways of dining rooms while I dust their displayed wedding china, and they chat about this and that, and then, at the end of my day, invite me to partake in cups of tea, relaxing pills, and confessions. I take no pills, share no confessions of my own in return, and offer little encouragement. But little is all that is needed, it seems, and I hear their stories. And perhaps the stories I hear are not precisely the stories they tell, but by now I know enough about love and princess to discern, behind the cheery inflections of their genteel fantasies, beneath the cherry veneer of their civilized mid-century dwellings, the dark, heady danger of primitive transformations, the rank odor of beasts prowling through the woods. There are 5 of them, one for each day of my working week. The Monday princess, the oldest and most resigned of the lot, met her husband when she was out for a stroll in the park, gathering flowers for her parents' mantelpiece arrangement, and he a stag pursued by a vicious hunt. He bounded over for help, pleaded with her to give him her heart, for only thus would the enchantment be broken. Only thus would he resume his true, his human form. And she felt sorry for him, because of the frantic rolling of his golden eyes, the foaming of his blackened lips, and chose to believe him. And once her heart was firmly in his possession, he did make one fine-looking, graceful man. But these days, almost 2 decades later, she often finds her ceiling scuffed by antlers and her rugs imprinted by hooves. So she has begun to suspect that he lied to her, is lying to her still, that his true form has always been that of a stag, and he gladly reverts to his prancing, doe-chasing ways whenever her back is turned, then pretends to misunderstand her tired questions in the mornings. And 3 or 4 times now, she has stumbled upon her heart, once his greatest treasure, he said, lying forgotten on windowsills or in kitchen drawers. The Tuesday princess, by far the richest of them all, is elegant and sleek, slinking about her suburban mansion on feet soft as paws, lying sprawled on sofas in sophisticated silk dresses, grooming herself, her eyes evasive and smooth, stacks of golden bracelets jingling up and down her skinny arms. She takes the longest to speak to me, and even then she purrs with half-truths and omissions. Still, I learned that in her youth she was a beautiful white cat, a royal cat no less, but she fell in love with a broad-shouldered, happy-go-lucky peasant youth entirely indifferent to her charms. He was a dog person, and the less he cared, the harder the thorn of love pinned down her soul. She invited him to live in her palace, gave him fine wines to drink, delicacies to eat, velvets and jewels to wear, and still he preferred his slobbery romps with street mutts to an hour of refinement in her discerning feline pleasance. At last, in despair, she begged him to cut off her head, and when he did, a lovely woman appeared in place of the cat, so rendered dumb by the shock, The youth gave in and married her right on the spot. And 15 years later, they're married still. But now she often snaps, scratches, and spits at him, for she feels poisoned by the hateful recollection of the ease with which he granted her long-ago wish to behead her. A shrug and "sure," carelessly tossed off. And too, she often catches her ever-gorgeous husband looking at her with amiable speculation, as though wondering what kind of delightful new being might emerge and grace him with her effervescent presence if he cut off the head of his tiresomely nagging, aging wife. The Charmed Wife. Thank you.